Hey everyone, I'm Omer,
I'm Trevor.
and this is
T.
Graps. We are coming to you live and in living color across multiple, various undisclosed locations across the East Coast. Trevor, what the fuck happened this weekend?
Something happened this weekend. Some people call it WrestleMania. I call it a debacle, but it happened.
Well,
It definitely happened.
it certainly did happen, and we have so much to talk about. Guys, be sure to leave that thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe. Be sure to go over to youtube.com/OTGraps and subscribe there. All of the wonderful clips from this episode will be exclusively over on OT Graps. We got a lot to talk about today, Trev. Obviously, WrestleMania was this past weekend. We'll dive deep into that. We'll dive into some bad controversies for WWE pertaining to the most egotistical maniac in the history of professional wrestling. And no, I'm not talking about Vince McMahon, although you could make a good argument for that. I'm talking about Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. And we're also going to talk about the reaction by many WWE Fed stands to the WrestleMania. But before we get into that, Trevor, look, a lot of wrestling happened this weekend. Ton, even outside of WWE. I want to hear from you. Overall vibe from this WrestleMania weekend. You know, usually WrestleMania weekend is full of energy. You know, even if the product is bad, even if the product is down, there's a different energy about WrestleMania weekend. Did we have that same energy this weekend, you think?
No. I thought, I thought normally WrestleMania with a lot of my friends or whatever. I remember a bar I used to work at called Wonderland. One of my buddies, huge wrestling fan, my boss, big wrestling fan, big time wrestling fan. We would show WrestleMania at the bar, Dewdrop, and it was just a good time. We played wrestling music. We had drinks in celebration of WrestleMania. It was had a lot of stuff going on. It was a lot of good stuff. But this year, you didn't see a lot of that. You didn't see a lot of people having WrestleMania parties. You didn't see a lot of people really. Well, I mean, you saw some, but it wasn't like normal years. Like it just felt mid. It felt meh. And even watching some of the all access stuff, it's just same thing. It was like, oh, they got to meet that guy. Why aren't they happier? They got to meet this person. Why aren't they happier? Like, even some of the wrestlers to me looked like it was just something like it. Take a quote from famous football player. I'm just here so I won't get fined. That's pretty much what it looked like.
Oh,
And
you're not that far off, buddy. You're not that far
just
off.
it pretty much looked like that. I mean,
People.
if you look at the Hall of Fame, oh my God, they were falling asleep.
Bro, they were not falling asleep, Trevor. They were fighting for their lives through that
Dude,
Hall
oh
of
my
Fame.
God, like
You want to know the
there was the
craziest?
video.
You want to know the craziest thing about that?
What?
So NXT, because NXT Stand and Deliver was the next day, right?
Right, yeah.
And it was like an earlier show because it was the same day as Mania, so they had like an
It was like
afternoon
1 o'clock.
show.
Yeah.
Bro, these people, WWE gave those talent a 5 a.m. call time. So those NXT talent who were at the Hall of Fame had to be like at the show, like at 5 a.m. to go
Dude,
over
Sean
stuff.
literally said he got like maybe 50 minutes of sleep. For like he literally said he didn't get much sleep at all. Like they were asking him what was going on. He was like, "I'm okay. I got like 40 minutes of sleep, but we're gonna get this done."
Yeah, bro.
I'm like,
The fact that those talent went out there with that little sleep and still cooked like that is insane to me.
honestly, and this is a hot take. I don't care. If you guys want to see really good wrestling matches, watch Stand and Deliver. It was the better
Mm.
show of the weekend. It was the better execute. I mean, there were some problems, of course, but you also got to understand these talents, like Omar said, these talents literally had less than 4 hours of sleep, or 4 hours maximum of sleep, and the Hall of Fame didn't end till like four. So, like, dude, like if you want to see something interesting, watch that show. Trust me, hands down, great product, amazing product, great show. But yeah, dude, it was sad. It was really sad. I'm like, did they really do that to this talent? Did they really do that to these kids? It's ridiculous.
Well, Trevor, let's talk about what they did because look, actions speak louder than words, and these actions were pretty shitty. So I guess Triple H's breath smelled like shit, but so aggressive. I didn't even say
Very
that.
aggressive. Very aggressive.
Very aggressive,
Super
more
duper.
aggressive than I'm used to. But then again, I had to sit through WrestleMania this past weekend, so
I know what the Rock's cooking. It smells like shit.
and we all ate it anyway. Ain't that a damn shame? Well, we'll get to Rocky. We'll get to Dwayne the Rock Johnson, who, bro, I need to. I can't wait to fill you in on all of the tea on the Rock. This man is.
Yes.
I genuinely think like he is one of the most insane people in pro wrestling, and that itself is a damning statement.
I must say, that's a lot. That's a lot.
All right. Well, before we get to that, let's talk about Mania, guys. What's up? First of all, in the chat, we got CC here. Marshawn Lynch, best line ever. I'm only here so I don't get fined.
There you go.
You got Taco Kid in the chat. What's up, Taco Kid?
What's up, Taco Kid?
We got bunch of people here. CC's
Hey,
apparently
welcome.
making a sandwich. Shout out to CC and the sandwich.
Yes.
All right. So let's talk about WrestleMania. Trevor, your honest thoughts overall about WrestleMania as a pay-per-view.
Honest thoughts. It was a it was SmackDown or Raw with an attitude.
Yep.
That that's pretty much it. It wasn't.
With an attitude. Not even what do you mean by attitude?
It had so with the attitude. Like there were some PLE, uh, you know, style matches or worthy matches, but for the most part, I could have watched this on Raw or watched this on SmackDown. Like this wasn't. It, wa- it was. I'm glad I didn't have to pay for it, but like that.
Hey man, hey guys, you guys can watch wrestling anytime.
I'm really glad I did not have to pay for this because honestly, I'd feel gypped. Like it was an incomplete show. I felt like most of the storylines turned out to be like incomplete thoughts or incomplete sentence or paragraph.
That's
There were
such
things
yep.
missing.
Yep, that's such a good point. That like I was thinking all weekend how to explain it. Incomplete thoughts, incomplete sentences. Nobody proofread this shit. Like,
Dude, exactly. Like honestly, I feel like it was feel like it was like a high school student that really needed at least a B to to pass and just threw some shit into the teacher so he could play sports and like, you know what? Go. We need to win. Like that's pretty much what it was. It was not looked at. It was not going through. Like no one could have looked at that show and said, you know what, this is perfect, because it wasn't. And I'm sitting there, I'm watching my feed because if you guys missed it, I was saying stuff on Instagram. I was very active on Instagram, and I literally in the middle of the show, I was like, the first night one, I said, I am giving it a low C. I think that's what it deserves, a low C, and that might be too good for it.
mm.
And there were so many people that badmouthed me and said, "What are you talking about? WrestleMania is fire." And I'm like, "You must be WWE fans. Like you have to be a diehard WWE fan to find this show fire."
Well, even diehard WWE fans were crashing out about how bad this show was overall.
Exactly. A lot of them were. And I'm like, where are you guys thinking that this is good? Like,
Yeah.
it's not.
Well, we'll dive into like some specific matches because obviously the main events and some of the shenanigans that went into them are worth talking about. But let's dive into night one first. I think everyone's kind of in agreement. Night one was, of the two nights, overall the weaker night.
Yep.
You know, look, this is no shade to any of the talent. There's a lot of talent
Nope.
on this card that you and I both like.
Absolutely.
But if we're being honest with ourselves, there were two matches, probably three, you could say, that were fine to good.
Yeah.
And one
Yeah.
really big and I think worthy WrestleMania moment. And then a lot of the other stuff was just, again, you could have been on a really good episode of SmackDown, could have been on a
Yeah.
PLE, could have been on main event to varying degrees.
Yeah.
But, like, let's start off with Jey Uso and Gunther. Look, my expectations were very low for this match. I'll be honest with you.
Absolutely. Same.
I thought that it's possible that Jey Uso, who like he's had good matches with the likes of Sami Zayn and Braun Breaker and um you know and even Seth Rollins, but this was not a world championship match. This did not feel like a Royal Rumble winner heading in. The
No.
people weren't even yeeting.
No, they weren't. He didn't. That first and foremost, let's get this out of the way. That crowd was dead.
The crowd was
Di-
crazy
dead.
dead.
Dude, like it was awful. Like I've never seen a crowd at a big time pay-per-view like that bad. I've seen them bad, but not quite that bad.
Insane, bro. I'm just dumbfounded. Like, here's the thing. Look, you pay the amount of money it goes to WrestleMania. I'm not gonna say and you do whatever you want because
Right.
it is your money. You used it apparently when you needed it. But like, I'm just kind of being like, if I'm spending like 20 grand, like some of these people did, to go to a WrestleMania, like $20,000, dude, to sit on the floor. $20,000. They had
Yep.
seats on the stage too, which were
They
tens
did.
of thousands of dollars. If I'm paying all that money, Trevor, to go to, I am going to be the loudest mother lover on that entire
Oh,
like
yeah,
show.
you could be able to hear me back in like you can be able to hear me back in like if I'm in Las Vegas, you're gonna hear me in New York because I'm gonna be the one of the loudest
On
dudes
God,
there.
on God.
I'm serious. Because, like, I'm planning on going New Orleans next year. I'm planning on going WrestleMania New Orleans. And at this point, I'm actually quite frightened because I don't want it to be another shit show like this. I mean, you have a whole year to hope and pray. But, honestly, even if it's bad, you're still going to hear me.
Yeah. I mean, what do we say? Like, what do you say? And then we got the New Day and the Viking or the War Raiders. Like, I love these guys. A nothing match. Did not need to be on this show.
Like, so Jey Uso and Gunther. Okay, when I say this, it doesn't mean much, but it was better than I thought it was gonna be. But that's not saying much because my expectations were very low. But it was better than I thought it was gonna be. I did have a problem with him doing every move that in Gunther's like trick bag. I had a problem with that. I did. It made him look incapable of doing anything without the help of someone else's moves, and it just didn't hit right.
And you could tell, dude, like, the second Gunther came out, and this is just like me, like, projecting, like, I don't know anything. The second Gunther came out and the way he was looking, I was like, that is a man who is about to lose his title, and he is pissed about it.
Oh, he was not happy. He was not happy at all. His expression on his face the entire time looked like somebody stole his last cookie, and he was pissed off about it.
And, like, dude, it's one thing. Like, I have no problem. Let me be clear. Jey Uso is winning this match. I'm not going to delude myself into thinking he was not going to. I have no
Right.
issue with Jey winning. I have no issue with whatever. But, and, I'm sick of, like, we can talk about this a little bit later, too. I mean, let's fuck it. Let's talk about it now. I'm really
Do it loud.
sick of this mentality that some people have online, right? I'm not like, again, I don't, is what it is. Like people are allowed to talk about whatever they want. It's the beauty of the freedom
Virtual
of
wrestling, yeah.
speech and all that. Speech. Can't even speak right now. But dude, I'm so fucking tired of people telling me, well, it made sense in the storyline. It made sense in the storyline. It made sense in the storyline.
What
Yes.
storyline?
Yes. Things can make sense in the storyline. For years, what was the biggest thing we were saying about WWE? The criticism was always things don't make sense. Things don't make sense. And I understand that. I understand that, like, now that things make a little bit more sense than they used to, people are going to give a lot of goodwill to Triple H, and he deserves a lot of it because that's how bad the product was under Vince McMahon.
Yep.
But we're 3 years into this. At this point, I don't just expect Triple H to be telling logical stories. I expect him to be doing shit that isn't going to bore people out of their fucking mind. And that's what WrestleMania did. You could say, yes, the right people won. Some of these matches were really good. Io Sky, Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley probably had the best opener of any WrestleMania of all time.
Exactly, but that's night two, and
I'm talking about Mania as a whole. Like, you have these people online who get on their little, I'm on the internet, and I'm gonna, like, you have all these people going out online, and they're talking about how, oh, this is logical storytelling, this is logical storytelling. Bro, everything the brand did in Game of Thrones was logical storytelling. That doesn't mean it wasn't ass when he ended up being the king.
Stop him when he's telling lies. Like, I mean, honestly, like, okay. Here's the thing. There was a story with Gunther and Jay. Yes. And what we thought was going to happen, happened. Like I said, whatever. The match was whatever. Happy for Jay. I am. I really, truly am. I like, if anyone deserves it, Jay deserves it. Explain the New Day and Viking Raiders. Because there was no story there. None.
What do you mean?
There was
You
no
know what the
story
worst part about that was, Trevor? The entire promo package of that match was building up the big confrontation they had with Big E, which is the only good thing that the New Day have done on TV over the last couple of months. The first heel promo was the peak, and the entire promo package built up that moment. And what did we not get? We did not get a Big E appearance. We did not get any real reference to Big E. We did not get any storyline development with Big E. We did not get anything. Nothing to do with Big E. And you're going to have people be like, oh, well, this is part of the larger plan. You're not seeing it. There is no fucking larger plan. The Rock let it out of the bag. Everything's being done on the fly. There is nothing.
Exactly.
It's broken.
It's broken. It's not. There's nothing being done. But here's the thing: if you pay real close attention in the match, in all of the matches, you can see a lot of that is done on the fly. Because if you look at, especially in the even as good as that match was. Especially, or no, actually, no. Go back. The Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton match. Oh, Flair looked like a deer caught in the headlights. She didn't look like she knew what the hell was going on. Like it, and to me, that was a horrible match. It was sloppy. It was gritty. It was not. I mean, gritty and good can go hand in hand, but that one was not good. But at the same time,
I'll be on the. I enjoyed the Charlotte and Tiffany match.
You did?
I mean,
it wasn't terrible. It wasn't terrible.
No, but I'll say this. I enjoyed it for the wrong reasons because I enjoyed it, like more so as like, oh, the art. You know, I'm like,
right?
Because I got what they were trying to do. It just didn't connect with most people. Sorry, I just.
No. I get what you're saying. To me, like I said, I think it fell a little flat for most fans, but I get what you mean by the art of it, because like it really what looked like a on the fly match for me, and it looked kind of like a shoot fight, like a shoot match, to a degree. But I get where you're coming from. I can see where the art form there is, especially for true wrestling stories and fans like ourselves. But no, dude, but like most, like, of course, like you said, the tag match, it was no storyline there. They abandoned the whole Big E thing, which they shouldn't have. There was more to do with that. There was more places to go with that story. They abandoned it. Honestly, right now, the New Day being heels ain't working for me. It's not working at all.
My thing is, what the fuck are they doing at WrestleMania? Ain't nobody want to see New Day versus the War Raiders. Why is Roxanne versus Bayley not on this card? Bayley, you took Bayley out of the women's tag match so that you could build up this the attraction of Becky Lynch. Like, shout out to Becky. I'm a huge Becky Lynch mark. I got the man shirt in the closet. I'm just ready to go.
Same.
Bro, I'm like, Triple H, if you knew Bayley, you could have put anyone else in this spot. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. Bayley is different, bro. It's just the truth. You could have put anybody. You could have put fucking Chelsea Green in this spot. You could have put anybody else in this spot. Chelsea Green would have been even funnier because at least that would have given her an entertaining thing to do. Could you imagine Chelsea Green getting taken out backstage? Be like, Adam Pearce, let me speak to your manager while getting hauled into an ambulance. Amazing. Absolutely. And then you get Becky Lynch's return. Like, whatever.
Dude,
it just wasn't fun. I mean, it just wasn't fun. It wasn't fun, man. It wasn't fun.
I mean, I'm gonna be real with you. And I said this to someone, and they literally looked at me like I was crazy. Tell me why this makes sense. This is the biggest show. This is like your Super Bowl. This is like WWE Super Bowl. This is the biggest show in your company, and you have 3 titles that are not being represented. 3. SmackDown tag team, Women's Intercontinental, and Women's World. You saw the Intercontinental champion wrestle in a
Women's
tag
US. Women's US.
I'm sorry, it was US. Wrestle in a tag match. Makes sense. You saw a weak tag team match from Raw. You didn't see a strong tag team match from the Street Profits. And guess what? The Street Profits are wrestling in a TLC match this Friday. That makes no sense. None. None. And where was Chelsea Green?
She was with Matt. She was like, there's a video. She was with Matt Cardona.
Matt Cardona. Yeah, she was there. She was with Matt Cardona.
Yeah. I mean, look, we can run through quickly some of these other matches, then we can dive into some of the bigger ones. I will say, one of the few bright spots on Mania Night 1, Jade Cargill versus Naomi, 9 minutes 20. Jade got the victory. I thought it was a very good match. This was Naomi's like magnum opus for her career. She did a wonderful job here. And I thought Jade was very strong. There was a spot, dude, where I think Naomi was jumping off the top rope, and then Jade like caught her into a suplex and slammed her down. It was fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it was a lot of good spots here. I thought it was the length it needed to be, and it was the type of match it needed to be. For that, it was good.
Yeah. We also had Jacob Fatu versus LA Knight. Yeah, in 10 minutes. Again, this is one of those, I think the right man won.
Yep.
The match was kind of a throwaway. This could have been on Raw.
It could have been. For what it wasn't bad, but like you said, the right man won. And again, it could have been a match that you watched on Friday night.
I would say honestly, this is not even like a PLE. Like, here's the thing. Not every match at Mania needs to be a banger. That's not what I'm asking. That's not what you're asking. That's not what most people are criticizing are asking. Like, if this was on a card and you had like 3 certified, like, really strong matches on it, this would be a good filler match. This would be a good match to kind of break the pace. That's fine. It's just a throwaway match, dude. Like just like on a card full of like throwaway matches at this point.
And you know what? At the end of this day, is nothing wrong with that. Like, honestly, at all. But like, if you're trying, like you say, if this is your baby, this is your bread and butter, you should, whatever.
Yeah. We also had El Grande Americano versus Rey Fenix. I thought the bright spot about this was El Grande Americano's entrance, the mariachi band playing him out to like God Save America or whatever the fuck that was. Amazing.
It was. It was very interesting.
Also,
very interesting.
Real quick, can I just say, man, like, what is up with Chad Gable missing WrestleMania twice in a row?
Dude, I don't know. He doesn't normally do that. I don't know why he wasn't there. Like, it's crazy.
Insane. Like, and like, look, I was hoping Rey Mysterio got obviously taken out the night before. I was looking forward to Chad Gable versus El Grande Americano, personally. Would have loved that.
I mean, it would have made more sense, you know?
It made way more sense. Could you imagine the match that those two are going to have? It would be like if El Generico and Sami Zayn, like when those two fight, you know it's going to be crazy. And I believe it'll happen one day.
It's going to happen one of these days. One of these days. You know what? It should be Chad Gable and Grande Americano versus the Lucha Bros. That should be a great
No,
tag
no,
team. That
no.
would be a great tag
No,
team.
how about this? Chad Gable and El Grande Americano versus Sami Zayn and El Generico.
You know what? Sami Zayn and El Generico need to talk again. They haven't been friends for a while. That would be a great
Yeah,
match.
no. Well, El Generico went to the farm in Mexico to go hang out with the orphans. Maybe we got to give him
That's
a
true.
call. We
Yeah,
got to give him a call.
that's true.
But again, Ray Phoenix came out. This was Ray Phoenix's debut on WrestleMania. 7:55 was given to this match. The only big takeaway from this match, like it was fine, but again, it just didn't get enough time to cook. It was whatever.
No.
The thing about this match was El Grande Americano hit an insane reverse 450 senton.
Dude, yo. Good. Yo, that was probably one of the moves of the night, honestly.
And look, my sources tell me that El Grande Americano is the ripe old age of 39 doing that. So that's wild. That's just
That's
wild.
That's crazy though. But it was a great move. For what it was all right. I think it lasted the amount of time, and it is what it is.
Yeah. Let's just do rapid fire on some of the next ones, just so we can, because we're going to talk about the main event matches a little bit more in depth.
Gotcha.
Tiffany Stratton, Charlotte Flair. We kind of talked about this. We just touched on this. It was very stiff. Someone in the chat said it was like very, very stiff. I think it was Leo Relic. Yep.
Yeah. He said he likes AEW, so he likes stiff matches.
It was a very stiff match. It
was a very stiff match.
These two were beating the crap out of each other. At one point, we all thought Tiffany Stratton lost a tooth. That, in fact, was not true.
No, they said she lost a tooth, then they said she chipped a tooth. I don't think any of that is true, actually.
No, because she came out with the press conference and her teeth were fine.
Yeah.
I think it may have been like blood or something that got in there. Who knows?
That's what I'm thinking too. But I will tell you this: anybody that doesn't believe a star was born in that match, don't know what they're talking about. Tiffany Stratton put herself. They put Tiffany Stratton here, beating Charlotte Flair on that big a stage. Yeah, absolutely.
AJ Styles did crazier things at 39. Not in WWE, he didn't. We obviously had the triple threat match. We'll talk about that later on. Io Sky, Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley. I said it before. I'll say it again. Yeah. Probably the best Mania opener of all time.
Yeah, that was. But wasn't that night 2?
That was night 2. Well, we're going into night 2.
Gotcha. Yeah, one of the best. Honestly, I feel like they. Don't get me wrong. I think it set the tone, but I feel like they wasted. They could have did something else opening, and that would have been in that match would have whatever. But that was one of the best openers I've ever seen. That match was fire. And I honestly agree with Io winning that match. I do. I completely agree with it.
Yeah, I think card placement overall was a huge issue with WrestleMania this year. This Io Sky triple threat was after night 1. I think you needed to start things off strong. You really needed to start things off strong because this changed the vibe. At least for me watching it, I was like, "Oh, damn! Okay, so night 2 is the banger night. Let's do it." Because by God, Trevor, the things that these women did in this match were insane. They came out and they were like, I think they came out to make a statement like we should have main evented. And I'm gonna stand by this. People can get mad about it. People can say whatever. This should have main evented over John Cena versus Cody Rhodes on night 2. Yeah. You can say whatever you want. I'm talking about work rate. I'm talking about match quality. I'm talking about story. All of it was way better. Way better. This deserved to be the main event of WrestleMania.
And the funny thing is, me and you both said the story with the 3 women was, but it was decent. It was there, you know what I mean. But to me, it was better than the Cody Rhodes and Cena.
Oh, we'll talk about that Cody Rhodes Cena. Shucky ducky. Drew McIntyre. Was that a good enough Booker T impression for you?
That was decent. I'll tell you.
Shucky ducky, quack quack. Shout out to Booker T. Also, Trevor, do you know how long this match was? The women's triple threat? Guess.
How long was it? What 10 minutes?
It was 14:25.
Really? It didn't even seem long.
I was shocked though, because like originally I was like, I thought this was at least like a 20-minute match. I was like, they did all of that in 14 minutes is insane. Shout out to them.
That's awesome, man. Hell yeah.
Because
Huh.
usually, especially triple threat matches, like we saw at night one, that triple threat match was half an hour long. Although
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
that was because Roman was involved, so we couldn't actually do wrestling. Um,
We're gonna get to
rapid
that
fire
later too.
here: Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest, Sin City Street Fight. Thoughts?
You know what? I thought it was good. I really did. It wasn't horrible.
It was fine. Like it was fine.
It
It was
was
just good match. Good match.
Yeah.
Not gonna
It was
say.
it was I mean it wasn't spectacular. It wasn't a shining grace, but it was better than a lot of things that was on night one.
Yeah, I mean, better than most things that were on night one. And then we got, I thought, another very bright spot. Like, they hit a couple of good matches in a row. Dominic Mysterio, Braun Breaker, Finn Balor, and Penta. Fatal 4-way for the Intercontinental Championship. Trevor, my one.
Look, I thought that match was amazing, bro.
Yeah.
I thought that was amazing. I thought it was a great match. Um, I think the right person won it. Um,
Yep.
Great match.
Bro.
Great match.
I genuinely think this is the moment that's going to propel Dominic Mysterio to be one of the biggest faces in the company.
Absolutely. It's gonna do it. Because dude, they started chanting his name during the match. Like he didn't come out to booze. He came out to chant the like praises. And I was like, oh wow, okay.
Also, like, I love how at the end he kind of ad-libbed like a thing where after the match was over, he was on the ramp and then he ran all the way down back to the ring. And it was such a perfect shot because the cameraman started running with him. And then Dominic also runs by Finn Balor. He jumps into the ring and the crowd, like this pop is building as he's running.
Yep.
Dom gets it, man. This man gets wrestling. And
Yeah.
I see an extremely bright future for this kid.
Oh,
Kid, he's
absolutely,
my
man.
age. Jesus, kid.
I'm about to say, is he your age?
Yeah, he's my age.
Oh wow.
Yeah. We were born in like he's a couple months younger than me.
Okay. I actually thought he was like a year or two older than you actually.
No. I'm old now. I'm old now. About to collect Social Security.
Wait your turn, sir. But no, yeah, man, it was a good match. It was worth watching. And Leo Relic posted something. I didn't know they dropped the remaster on Game Pass. It's crazy. Sorry.
They did, I guess. I don't know. I don't play games.
I,
Anyway, Randy Orton, Joe Henry, pinfall up that. Randy Orton, Joe Henry. Thoughts on this? Randy Orton's mystery opponent was Joe Henry.
the funny thing is, and I told a friend of mine this, even though it was a squash match, Joe Henry's career just like skyrocketed.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. People were very down on this online or whatever. This was
Like
fine. This was
it
good.
was fine.
It was a look.
It was what was supposed to happen. It was what needed. It was a palate cleanser, if you will.
I agree. I think that's the perfect way of putting it. A palate cleanser, bro. Like also, I don't care what you say. You cannot look at Joe Hendry like doing his pose right into an RKO and not think it's one of the funniest things you've seen.
It was absolutely hilarious, and then the fact that he actually did Joe Hendry's pose. I
Now,
thought it was great.
now was the RKO after the fact a bit of a burial? Maybe. Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
But like it is what it is, man. Like look, if you're asking was I sports entertained? I was sports entertained.
and at the end of the day, that's their job. That's what it's supposed to do.
Logan Paul versus AJ Styles, Trevor.
I could have done without this match.
I will say I thought the Karrion Cross stuff was very interesting. Karrion is he's trying to he is doing everything in his power to try to get a new contract, and shout out to him. I think he's gonna get it. I think
he really is.
the work he's doing is very strong right now.
And it's funny because he was at GCW not long ago, actually.
He was at a GCW show this weekend.
Yeah,
Natalia
yeah.
was too. Natalia
Sure
was crashing out fighting everybody.
Was Baszler there too?
Yeah, I think Shayna was at Bloodsport.
Yeah, Shayna was there as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
but no, for what it was fine.
Yeah.
Again, like you said, I agree. I do love what they're doing, what Karrion Cross is doing right now. I think Karrion Cross is he's making himself. popular, and I honestly agree with that. I like that. I mean, Karrion Cross, if you've seen him, when they actually let him wrestle, is a monster in the ring. Has a great personality, but they're doing absolutely nothing with him.
Mm.
So I like what they're doing with him now.
We also had the women's tag match, Lyra Valkyria and a mystery partner versus Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez for the women's tag team titles. What did you think of Becky Lynch's return? She returned and was the mystery partner here.
Love to see Becky Lynch. Always love to see Becky Lynch. Like you said, I'm a huge The Man fan. I'm marked out for her. She wasn't needed.
Mm.
She
Mm-mm.
she she wasn't needed. I know that a lot of people can disagree with me on that, but especially with all you're gonna do is make her feud with Vicarian, which is fine. But at the same token, did we really need that?
I think this is one of those cases where if the overall like WrestleMania card was better, this wouldn't have been an
Right.
issue. But with Mania, it was like one of those things where these like smaller issues, like these smaller issues help build up the bigger issues, and it just created a pot of crap.
Yeah. Because like you literally took they even admitted it. They Bailey wasn't hurt. We just took her off. Okay, for what?
Well, Trevor, it's funny you mentioned Bailey. Funny you mentioned that because before we get to talking about the main event, I actually do want to get your thoughts on this Bailey situation. Um, so we're gonna play some audio here from the Chris Van Vliet podcast,
Okay.
and then we'll talk about the main events because I do want to talk about those a little separately. We'll get a little palate cleanser in here, some wrestle drama.
No itches, by the way. Sorry.
Oh, this is itching now. Um,
Yeah,
but
pollen.
Bailey, so there's a lot of controversy about Bailey being taken off the WrestleMania card. She has weirdly responded kind of back in time. She did an interview WrestleMania weekend that was recorded before I think the announcement was made about her not being available for Mania. And this coincides with reportedly Mercedes Moné unfollowing Becky Lynch on Twitter and Instagram. There's a lot of rumor and innuendo about the situation. And
Uh,
after in the fallout in this new Chris Van Vliet interview, Bailey, again, this was recorded prior to her being taken out of Mania. She had some very interesting thoughts. Here's what she had to say.
And how do you not take that personally? You know, like you're being told you're going to win the Royal Rumble, and you win the Royal Rumble,
Yeah.
you do the point and everything,
Yeah.
and then it's like, well, what now?
Yeah, I know. It's oof. By the time this comes out, there's gonna be even um
Like, what does that mean?
it's hard. It's hard. It's like sometimes I think it's my that's what keeps me here is because I don't go freaking kick the door down and be like, I'm not doing that. Why would I do that? I'm fucking Bailey. Like, why would I do that? You know?
Trevor,
wow.
these were some WWE's had a shitty PR week. A very shitty PR week. From MAGA Roman to MAGA Triple H to Triple H crashing out about MAGA Roman and MAGA Triple H to everything that The Rock just ruining wrestling.
This,
But this got a lot of people's attention.
and I can understand why.
And I think a lot of people are now speculating. Mercedes actually on WrestleMania week, she tweeted, call me if you like. She basically was like, call me Bailey if you want to make some money, insinuating that hey Bailey, doors open for AEW. So Trevor, my two questions: number one, initial reaction to these comments in the fallout of what happened at Mania, and number two, more importantly, is Bailey gonna go to AEW?
So I think that's something that's been played with for a while now, actually. Um, but the fact that they have not been treating Bailey well, I mean, you can see it. That title run that she had was abysmal. Um, She was supposed to win the Royal Rumble. You know, she never really got a true rematch for the title. It was yeah they've been playing games with my girl, and I'm a big fan of Bailey. They've been playing games with my girl. They haven't really been doing her the right way. Um, I do believe that it might be time to look for greener pastures for her, but it's only if she wants. Because like she's a big star in her own right. Like anybody, if she becomes a free agent, she will be one of the biggest women free agents possible right now. Um, does she go to AEW? I don't know. Does she test the Indies? Probably, if she gets released or if her contract's up.
They would be stupid to release her.
Like if her contract goes up, which I think is coming up soon, right?
I think she's probably got like around 2 years.
Okay.
I mean, we
might
don't
be
know.
her
Like,
move.
here's the
might
thing.
be her
That's
move to
that's like
test the
rumor.
Indies.
That's rumor and innuendo. I want to be clear. We don't know exactly when.
Oh yeah, of course.
But she
I mean,
did
if
resign
something
like
did happen,
a year or two ago.
but gotcha. So here's the thing: point blank, period. She is not happy. We know she's not happy. We can tell she's not happy. Could she go somewhere else to make her happy? Possibly. Is she? We don't know. But she's not happy.
If she hits the free agent market, that contract is going to break every single pay scale for women's wrestlers, even
Oh,
like
hell
the
yeah.
existing ones. And that's like a lot of WWE's fear, like, and why they're kind of hoarding talent at this point. It's why they gave out all those big money deals, even though some of the people got used, some of the people didn't. The reason was because they know it's not just about keeping talent from AEW. It is a business decision. It is about making sure the talent don't test the free agent waters, like offering them just enough so they won't go, because if they do and AEW, in WWE's minds, overpays someone, that's not the term I like to use, but that's how they see it.
Right. Mhm.
If they overpay someone, that means that the scale when other talent are up, it's different. Like, for example, if let's say Karrion Kross tests the free agent market, gets a big money deal from AEW for whatever reason, then, well, and if it's more than what, let's say, Dom Mysterio is making on his current deal, he's going to be like, well, Karrion Kross is making X amount. I need to be making way more than that. And that drives up the price. And it's good for talent because it gives them leverage. But for WWE, they see it as harmful to their bottom line, because we know WWE, all they care about is money. Extracting value as they see it.
It's yeah. One of those things.
Yep. Very interesting stuff coming out of WrestleMania week. But let us know in the comments, in the chat, what you guys think. We got some chats over here.
Should we read some of these chats? Or?
Well, the chat, the chat can wait. Oh, Trevor, you're frozen. You're frozen. I was going for a bit there. I was about to crash out on the chat. You were supposed to save him.
Oh, I was. Oh, we're
okay.
I'm
I think we're back.
now.
I think we're back.
No,
We're back.
am I
We're
live?
back. We're back at a Michael. All right. Let's go through these marks in the chat. You good for nothing marks. We got Leo Relic in the chat saying, love to see Becky. Hate to see her in a match where A, they took out Bailey in her favor. B, they lost in Raw anyway, and Becky turned on Lyra. I mean, once you made the decision to bring her back, I think the Lyra stuff, the angle they did on Raw was probably the best thing they could have done.
Come on. Yeah, I think so too. Can you hear me?
Yes, you're perfectly fine now.
Yeah, I'm just glitching. Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, it was gonna come sooner or later. I don't know if I would have did it so much sooner after Raw. I mean, after WrestleMania, but it was gonna happen sooner or later.
Frank in the chat says, why wasn't the Street Profits at WrestleMania? Why weren't the Street Profits at WrestleMania, Trevor?
Because they wanted to promote trash instead of promoting good stuff.
Bro, at least you know what I appreciate about WWE this year? They learned their lesson from last year. They were significantly less racially insensitive with their ad placements.
They were. They
Because
definitely
last
were.
year they were insane, bro. Like I remember like one of the matches they had fried chicken in there. Another one of the
Dude.
matches they had like the like Hispanic like I think drink or whatever. I was like, bro, this is wild. This is crazy.
Yeah, they did
Bro,
have
like I'm
fried
watching a
chicken.
wrestling and also I'm sorry, like forget like take that part of it out of it. I'm watching a wrestling match and there's some fucking chicken wings on the ring. Like what am I doing, bro? Some like insanely large chicken wings.
But you know what? That old stereotype never made sense to me. Everyone loves fried chicken.
That's what I'm saying. Look, I agree. But it's all about the intention. We know what WWE was trying to
Oh,
do.
we know what the intention was.
Like I don't look. I'm not look. I love chicken. I got fried chicken waiting for me. I'm ready to go. But
I'm actually jealous.
I mean, it's gonna be cold as hell by the time I get to it.
Dude,
But
cold fried chicken is awesome.
or you got it. Well, I got like one of those. What was it called? The heaters.
Oh,
I forgot.
what? Yeah,
The hoot nanny and the hold down.
the whole down, the whole down,
The hoedown. Where's the hoot nanny? Where's the hoedown? But not like. But anyway, back to wrestling. I don't know how we talk about fried chicken is crazy. Uh,
This show, I swear.
I mean, I needed this, buddy. I needed this. Anyway, so Bailey crashed out, but she wasn't the only one, Trevor. Because we in the chat, we got some crash out chats. I can't even read some of these. People are talking about who's a more authentic redhead or whatever. Jamie Hayter or Becky Lynch, and I'm just like, bro, they're both fine.
Yeah,
They're both fine as redheads. They let them cook. What else we got here? Oh, we got Leo Relic hitting me with a global brand.
Brand.
Also, your Triple H's Hall of Fame speech was over an hour long.
Dude, what in the?
And Trevor, we're supposed to believe he didn't want it.
Oh, he didn't want it, but he wrote an hour-long speech.
Also, what is it? What is up with these motherfuckers, bro? The Hall of Fame came on 1 a.m. Eastern. 1 a.m. Eastern.
Bruh.
That's insane. That's psychotic.
Yeah.
Also, did you see? There's no audio of this, but actually, I know a couple of things have leaked out. But have you had a chance to hear any of the things about the roast of WrestleMania?
The roast? No.
So there was.
Was that the Slammy Awards or
No. So there was this event that happened after night 2 of WrestleMania in Vegas. It was a closed event. No cameras were allowed. Fans had their phones taken. It was a roast, like kind of like you know how they did like the roast of Tom Brady, the roast like these Comedy Central roasts like they used to do back in the day. It was basically that. It was hosted by Tony Hinchcliffe. And
Okay.
it was like a panel of people. Paul Heyman was on the panel. Sami Zayn was there. A lot of the talent were there. Fluffy, the comedian, Gabriel Iglesias was there.
Oh wow.
And the things that were apparently said at this roast, like a lot of people who were on
Who
site.
were they roasted?
What everything. It was a roast of WrestleMania, bro.
Oh wow.
People were talking about Charlotte's like love life. People were talking about Nia Jax. That was one of the videos that leaked. People were talking about Nia Jax in an insane way. Paul Heyman apparently started. I mean, Paul Heyman went on the Pat McAfee show the next day and started pointing to like people and saying, you're gonna get deported," which is fucking wild. He was in a mood, obviously. I cannot imagine what he was saying.
Obviously.
Cannot imagine what he was saying at that roast. Apparently, Fluffy and him got into an argument on stage. People were drunk. People were high. People were crashing out. It was a mess. And people will say it will never see the light of day, because not only was it bad from like people. It went past people just making jokes. As we know, Trevor, professional wrestlers are some of the biggest drama queens.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm talking about men, women, everybody. They're all drama queens. See,
absolutely,
bro. It like the things that were said here were apparently so bad that if some town who weren't there actually knew what happened, WWE backstage was looking like AEW. Like it was bad. Apparently, Leo Relic in the chat said apparently Paul Heyman used Seth Rollins a flamethrower at the roast. Holy shit.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so a crash out is the best way I can describe it. Let me see if I can pull. I'm not gonna pull any audio from it because I don't want WWE to crash out.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think there were like it was bad.
Oh man.
I
heard that apparently Stone Cold and Bret Hart were both drinking.
Oh Jesus! Dude, 9 minutes of audio just leaked of the roast of WrestleMania.
Oh no! I'll listen to it later.
I'll send it to you. We're not listening to all 9 minutes of it here, but yeah, people were just fighting and drunk and crashing out. Pat McAfee was smoking. Here's Wrestling News Co. and their aggregation of it. The WrestleMania roast was fucking awesome. Paul Heyman was incredible. R-Truth needs to do this again. Sami Zayn killed it. Tony Hinchcliffe had eyes rolling. That was so much fun. Cell phones were put in pouches for good reason. I doubt this makes TV. Shit was wild. Braun Strowman was nuts. Miz seemed a little nervous but did good. Fluffy was too nice but still fun. Pat McAfee was high on weed like many of us. Triple H came in at the end. A great time. Go next year if you missed. That's crazy, man.
Wow.
You know what's it's gonna be bad when some of this stuff like leaks out because apparently it was uncomfortable, man. It was uncomfortable. Anyway. That was the roast of WrestleMania. Let's continue the roast of WrestleMania though, Trevor, because we got main event.
Pretty much. You know, one thing I did enjoy about WrestleMania, and this is just me being a nerd and sneakerhead. Some of the shoes.
Roman coming out with the Jordan 11s was crazy.
Dude, they were modified Concords. That's exactly what they were.
Oh, really?
It was awesome. Yeah. They were Jordan 11s, but they were slightly modified. So. If you know anything about the Jordan 11s, they have the patent leather strip that goes all the way around. His didn't connect. On one side it was around, and the other side it wasn't completely connected. But other than that, it was pretty much a Concord. It was a Concord 11, and it was. Oh, that was a sexy shoe. I ain't gonna say it lie to you. That was a sexy shoe.
I'm just a sexy shoe. You know what the most painful part of WrestleMania was for me? When Roman bent down to do like his super or his like ooh-ah thing.
Yeah.
Or his Superman punch when he like hit his thing into the ground. Bro, when he creased those joints, I felt it.
Oh yeah, I felt it in my soul.
Bro, like I like felt it. Look, we all know it's gonna happen eventually to every shoe. It happens. But by God, man. Bro, when Roman is careless, he's reckless when he comes to creasing those shoes.
Like, what in the world? And I don't even like this brand, but Seth Rollins shoes were actually pretty nice too. They were I can't think of the name, but I can't stand those shoes typically. But it was a nice shoe. It went well with his gear.
Very nice. All right, let's talk about Mania. So night one main event of WrestleMania, Seth Rollins wins the triple threat with CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and himself. We all thought that we were going to get a big moment with Paul Heyman, who was going to choose somebody. Some people thought CM Punk, some people thought Roman, some people even thought Seth Rollins and predicted it. Trevor, first of all, for a very weak card, which was the night one card,
right.
I think you could say this was the best match on the card.
It was.
And it probably should have been.
Right.
The match itself, and I'm interested to hear your thoughts. For me, the match itself was pretty weak. Like, overall. Like, it was, I mean, like, not weak as in, like, oh, like, these guys didn't go out there and try. Weak as in, number one, it's not my style. Like, this was very slow, Roman Reigns, methodical. People are sleeping on the outside. And also, it just felt like, I mean, overall, it just felt like everything they could have done, they should have done quicker. Like, I'm not asking balls to the walls, but I'm talking about, like, I don't need to be waiting 3 minutes while Roman is, like, ooh and an eye and MAGA and in the corner. But what did you think about this main event? What did you think about the result?
So, I called it. I did say Seth. This was gonna happen between
You
Seth.
predicted most of this card, I think, right?
I did. Um, but the thing was, yes, it was slow, methodical, and that has become a pattern with a lot of Roman Reigns matches. Whatever. But it was slow, methodical, which doesn't mean a bad match. It doesn't mean bad at all. Sometimes some of the best matches start slow and methodical. But it was too slow.
Mm.
And the fact that I think the biggest problem for me was not that uh Seth Rollins walked out with Paul Heyman, but the fact that you literally switch sides twice. That's my thing. You like hit Punk with the chair, then you walked over to Roman and like, yes, my tribal chief. You gave him, and then you elbowed, you hit him in the crotch. And not only did he hit him crotch, dude, he gave him the old like what was
Bro
that
gave
old
him,
video?
bro gave him that. Like he was getting all up in there with his elbow. That
Dude,
was,
my boy said he gave him the ring around the rosy. Like he
bro,
gave him,
my boy. You know when a massage when a massage therapist starts dig deeper with your elbows. That's what he was doing with Roman. He was
dude, like he gave him the ringer, boy. Like
like
it was
I love it
it was
because he made sure the people in row Z section 400 and whatever saw.
right.
Like that, that's how you know Paul Heyman is an old school dude. He was like, we got to make sure everybody sees what I'm doing. Oh, let me move around, make sure they see.
Do you remember there was a video on that was going around for a while of a dude in UFC and the dude behind him said, "Give him a good old dick twist," and that's kind of what.
Paul Heyman did make that come true. That's been at every wrestling show. There's always one guy who says that at least once, and Paul Heyman listened. Thank you
Hey,
for
listen, I
listening,
got
Paul.
you. But yeah, like I mean, it's fine that he turned on him. To me, I felt like it was too all over the place. Like one just group, go fuck yourself would have worked for me, but it was fine. Like I said, the best match of the night by a long shot. Well, not a long shot, but it was the best match of the night. But yeah, I mean, it happened. It was good. I want to see how they build on it, but I mean, of course, it had its faults and it has problems.
Yeah. I will say though, my favorite thing about WrestleMania, I think overall, outside of the women's triple threat, was CM Punk's entrance.
Yes,
Like, and I
yes.
know you got feelings about Punk.
You know what? I can actually talk about it later. Honestly, I have no problem with mentioning why. Like, it's it's not that I don't like Punk. Like I said before, it's not that I really don't like Punk. 'Cause honestly, I've actually shared a pretty interesting moment with Punk in wrestling years. But it's not that I don't like Punk. I don't like the pageantry of it all. Because like, and of course, he like I said before, he can't be that Punk that he was years ago anymore. But that's part of why I don't really care that he's back. But I don't have any ill will toward Punk, put it like that. I actually used to like Punk. I was a fan of Punk's. And like I said, we shared a moment once at a wrestling event and it was pretty cool. So
Yeah, and my thing was, like I'm on record saying this. CM Punk, even though I've criticized him, I've said a lot of stuff in the on the show and whatever about Punk. CM Punk to this day is still like one of my favorite wrestlers ever.
yeah, he's very dude, I will say he still has it, dude. He really does
Yeah,
still
like
have it.
people can say is he slower? Sure. Does he get gassed still? Yes. But
Yes.
when it's time for that big match,
He
he
shows
is
up.
on it. He knows exactly what to do. He's dynamic as hell. There is like, and that's what made like that. I love the intro, dude. I just loved
It
everything
was
about
it was it was nostalgic. It was
it.
throwback,
Genuinely
you
might
know?
be one of my favorite WrestleMania entrances ever because that promo
Yeah.
package played, and it's like, it's literally a reflection of Punk doing his first promo in WWE, my name is CM Punk. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. My addiction is professional wrestling. And him at like the age of 45 now, nearly 20 years later, cutting the same promo. And we see like this awesome package of this fire burns playing in the background. It was awesome. It was exactly what CM Punk's career deserved as a retrospective. And if it ended there, if WrestleMania, which we know it's not, but if WrestleMania 41 was the last time we ever see CM Punk in a professional wrestling ring, it's okay. Because that promo told you everything you needed to know about the wrestler, the man, the legend that is CM Punk. And then you follow that up with Living Color, who Ibu from Wrestle Purist said the lead singer looked like an auntie at the cookout, which was crazy. It was the lead. He said the lead singer looks like a lesbian auntie at the cookout, and I was like, that's crazy, bro. That's crazy. But like,
that's hilarious.
But it's crazy, man. Like, I loved it, man. I love them. I love that intro.
No, I thought that was a great intro, man. I really did. Like, all jokes aside, like, how I feel about Punk now, I take it is whatever. But like, no, great match, man. Great match. Great intro, I should say. Great intro.
What'd you think about the follow up the next night on Raw? I thought Raw was really strong, by the way.
You know what? I was gonna say that. I thought Raw was pretty strong. And you know what? With Braun Breaker, I like it. I absolutely like it.
I think we're getting a dangerous alliance. I want Paul Heyman to come out with a big cell phone.
Right. Like, I really, really like it. I can't say much bad about it. Like, I really enjoy it. Because, like, when he came and he speared him, I was like, they got someone else. And I already knew who it was. I was like, they got someone else. Like, this works.
Man, Braun Breaker, and that's a big guy to get. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy to see what they do.
And I think it's gonna boost. I mean, even though Breaker's a star anyway, we both said this a long time ago, but I think this boosts his morale. It definitely does.
For sure. Let's talk about Mania Night 2, Trevor. The main event. Let's just get right into it because start crashing out as soon as I ask you this. John Cena versus Cody Rhodes. One of the worst main events of all time? Question mark?
Yeah, why the fuck did it make sense? Why did anyone think that bull swoggle made sense?
Bull swoggle. Like, I would love it. Could you imagine? No, El Torito. You remember El Torito? He needs to come back, and his new gimmick needs to be bull swoggle.
I'm going to be honest. Like, okay, John Cena walking down, but no flash. No, honestly, I like that. I thought that was interesting. It could have made for a very good build-up and a very good match. Cody came down, flashy, everything. You know what? This is gonna be all right. This is gonna be a good match. No, it was not. It was not. Like, it was one of those things. Of course, it started off slow. We knew it was gonna start off slow. I don't know if it was the obvious, like, flatness of the entire match, because, like, there was, like, I don't necessarily want to say John can't wrestle or anything anymore, because I don't necessarily think that, but it was definitely flat. It was I think it was more than just ring rust. It was definitely flat. And also, can we take time and notice the fact that he was yelling out every spot, and you could clearly hear it and clearly see it every time he did it.
I fully believe that John Cena did that, like, because here's the thing: he's always done that. That's just what John Cena does. I 100% fully believe that John Cena did that on purpose.
Oh, I believe it was on purpose too. I don't believe that was an accident. I believe that was fully on purpose.
Because, Trevor, the way he was doing it was so egregious.
It was.
He really would turn to the camera and be like, "Cody, now!"
Right. Like, you hear him, "No!" and he'd throw him down. Like, and he'd throw him into the corner. "Do this!" And like he literally, like, just, and like, again, he's always been very vocal when he calls his matches. But that was just egregious. Like you said, it was a lot. But at the same token, I think he did it on purpose. Um, and the moment that we thought we were gonna get when the final boss comes down, no, it's Travis Scott with a fake, a fake hardcore title.
Trevor, I think if I ever hear that song, Fiend, 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 ever again in my life, someone is in danger. That's all I'm gonna. Someone is in danger. Might be me.
I will say the best part of that, one of the best parts of that match wasn't even a move. It wasn't an actual spot. It was something that was said. And it was said by Michael
Stop.
Cole.
No, I know exactly. You gotta stop. No.
Was it Michael Cole? Was it
It was Michael Cole.
It
It was Michael Cole. Go ahead.
I bet you I bet you Travis Scott's here. I get those goosebumps every time.
Michael Cole has made an entire career out of being one of the corniest motherfuckers in the history of professional wrestling. And he cemented that legacy with that line.
I thought it was the corniest thing possible, but I laughed my ass off. I was like, yo, shut up.
It was, I'm like, this is the main event of WrestleMania. And we're going to, look, if you did some shit like this in Randy versus Joe Hendry or whatever, I get it. It's
right.
Bro, I'm believing this is John Cena's last WrestleMania. This is the main event. It's the world championship on the line. And you're memeing in the middle of the main event of WrestleMania. What are we doing here, bro? What are we?
I'm sorry, Leo was leaving. See you, Leo. Thanks for popping in.
What are we doing here? And then, bro, okay, no, and let's talk about the match because the problems are not just Travis Scott. The Rock didn't show up. He sent Travis Scott, who was given the Undertaker's time to like make his way slowly, methodically down to the ring. Meanwhile, John Cena's sitting there like an idiot, like clapping his hands, like, "Okay, Travis, get your ass here already."
Can anyone explain to me why that man is carrying a title? Why?
Why? Okay, look, The Rock. Everyone in the Rock stable gets a title. The Rock's got a title. Travis Scott's got a title. John Cena's got a title. Like everyone's got a title. Look, and then. So, like, Travis Scott gets in there. Cody gets his quote-unquote receipt by delivering a Crossroads. And then we get, I think, one of the dumbest spots I've seen in WWE, recent WWE history. At WrestleMania, I should say. Cody Rhodes, the babyface, has the world championship in his hand. To a prone John Cena, referee's knocked down. Cody struggles once to hit him. Struggles twice, struggles thrice. And then like the biggest indie mark geek jabroni bitch in the world. Drops his hands. Letting go of the title. In the main event of WrestleMania, Trevor, the babyface that we're all supposed to cheer, that we're all supposed to root, drops his hands, leaving himself defenseless to John Cena, a man who just 2 months ago kicked him in the no-nos and proceeded to beat him down. The same Cody Rhodes, by the way, Trevor, who just last year against AJ Styles hit AJ in the face while AJ had his hands tied behind his back with steel steps. The same Cody Rhodes, Trevor, who powerbombed Kevin Owens through a ladder.
The same Cody Rhodes that not 10 minutes before this spot even happened, raked John Cena's eyes.
Whatever story they were trying to tell here, embarrassing. And Cody is like a character who, like, look, Cody is over, and I'm thankful for that, and I'm grateful for that, and I'm happy for him. The character of Cody Rhodes in WWE is not a character you want to root for. He's what a geek. What a geek he is, bro.
Dude, here's the thing, and this is what I said, and me and you talked about this. I didn't think him going back to WWE was a good idea. I didn't. And this is the reason. Let's just be honest. Let's call a spade a spade. His title run has not been great. They have not built him up. His stories have not been great. His promos have been whatever. Like, he's had some good ones, but he's had some ass too. Like, every person that goes up against him, his father comes into play. His father did this. His father did that. You're not your father. Blah, blah. Can we leave that out of the promos for a minute, please? Because that's getting really tired and really annoying. Then, like, his title defenses. Let's talk about those. They haven't been the greatest. The best one might be Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
Like, he joined forces with someone not even a year ago that he kicked his teeth in and sold his belt. Like,
he's an idiot. The character is an idiot. I don't know why.
The character's an idiot. And
like, yeah.
He should not be happy with what's going on. He shouldn't be. And to be honest, I don't think he really is. But he shouldn't be happy with what's going on. And John Cena does not look like the GOAT. John Cena looks like a middle-aged old man that needs to go back in a home somewhere right now.
Hey, man, he got a hair transplant, apparently, and it didn't work.
I noticed that.
It didn't work, apparently.
And I heard he said, "I got a hair transplant for you people." Like,
he's got like the crow's nest in the back, bro. My boy.
He literally said, "I got a hair transplant for you people,"
and it didn't work. It didn't work because everyone's still cooking it for his hairline. We got A Boogie in the chat saying Travis Scott on Netflix should have a squash match where he gets pinned for the hardcore belt, bringing back the belt to WWE. Let's not do that. No more Travis Scott. If I hear Fiend again, someone's in danger. Come on now. We got Juggernaut in the chat. What's up, Juggernaut?
The Juggernaut. What's up, buddy?
What's up, Juggernaut? Hopefully you're doing well, my guy. Yeah, Mania was that main event was bad.
It was terrible.
Well, Trevor, you want to talk about the reason why it was bad?
Sure, let's talk about the reason why it's bad.
A couple of weeks ago, John Cena came out on TV and said that he was going to ruin wrestling. The quote was exactly,
"I am going to ruin wrestling."
Yeah.
And he did it. He ruined wrestling. But I would argue, Trevor, that it is not John Cena who ruined wrestling. No. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has ruined professional wrestling. Here is why.
Can't disagree with you on this one.
We all complain about WrestleMania. We all complain about the main event. We all complain about how horrible Cody looked. We all complain about how bad the Travis Scott thing was. We all complain about how it felt like this story was like did not go anywhere, was not really stemming from anything. For the past couple of months, Trevor, there have been a lot of people doing a lot of talking online, a lot of people doing a lot of talking in the comment section, a lot of people doing a lot of talking in general about this amazing story that The Rock is doing. And he's 20 moves ahead of all of us. And he's just so great. And I love you, Rocky. They're talking all this stuff because The Rock came out at Bad Blood, held up 3 fingers. The Rock came out at Elimination Chamber with this great segment, a fantastic segment. I'll stand by that. And did like 2 fingers. And we're all supposed to believe, and the belief amongst all these fans were that The Rock this is all planned from day one. That none of this was at the last minute. None of us was done on the fly. Trevor, I'm about to present to you some evidence. Straight from the horse's mouth. The Rock was on Pat McAfee's show and said none of this was planned. None of this was supposed, like, he just came in there and he changed the main event of WrestleMania multiple times. All right. First, I want to get to this clip, and then I'll read out some other stuff from that happened. The Rock first explained why he wasn't at WrestleMania in one of the biggest PR spins I've ever heard. Here's what he had to say.
I need to stay out of that. Was there ever a moment where anybody was trying to tell you differently? Like, no, Final Boss. Anytime you're around is a good thing, not a bad thing.
No, but they don't have to say anything like that to me. And they know, and I come to them, and them meaning Triple H and Nick and Ari as well, and I lay this out and I say, hey, here's how I really feel it should go. We can insert final boss in the end of this finish, but then where do we go? There's other commitments that I have, and I want to also be careful that we're not overstepping and leading over our skis too much here. Can get involved.
Okay, Trevor, I want to be clear about this. He said that, we can't just do a thing where the final boss shows up and then, like I would have shown up, but like, then what would I do? Where would we go from there? I'm like, bro, you literally did that a month ago. You literally did this a month ago.
There's so much you can do with it. Come on, dude.
Okay, and then I want to get to the most damning one, all right? The most damning one. So in the same interview, excuse me, The Rock, in his own words, claims that in the lead up to Elimination Chamber, tickets weren't selling well, and Ari Emanuel called him. Tickets weren't selling well, Chamber were slow. They wanted to make it more must-see. We need the final boss. And by the way, he's glazing himself so hard in this interview. And he came up with the sell your soul idea for Cody Rhodes. And then Triple H and Cody said, that's what we not doing. And they instead suggested John Cena. And Trevor, so The Rock confirmed that this was a last-minute decision. By the way, everything that he was saying in those promos, those are not scripted. The Rock is just shooting from the hip. He's touching Cody Rhodes' face, and Cody Rhodes is hearing for the first time, I need your soul. And Cody's like, the hell? And Trevor, we're not done yet. Because you know why this makes so much sense? You know why this makes the most sense? Trevor, you notice how John Cena, after he turned heel, none of his gear changed, none of his merch changed, none of his character didn't change. You know, that was not a storyline decision, Trevor.
It wasn't planned.
They wasn't planned, but they had already made all of the specialty gear, because in every city he has different gear. They already made all the specialty gear for Brussels, for London, for this entire European tour. So instead, Trevor, of telling a story of actually turning John Cena heel, they were like, well, we got to make our money back. And I'm not done there
yet.
Because The Rock, the final boss in all of his glory, then proceeds to say, and I quote, The Rock says that a top WWE star texted him saying that their soul was for sale. The text I got from Top Guys, one in particular who I love, he's my guy. I call him the Superman of the company. He's like, listen, my soul's for sale when it's time. And when I think about who the Superman of the company is, I'm thinking, who's Mr. WWE? Who's there whenever WWE needs him? Who's there whenever WWE is in a rut and they need someone to, carry a belt, establish a new belt or whatever?
Right.
This man, The Rock, is about to involve himself in one of the few good things WWE has going right now. And that being the Seth Rollins, Paul Heyman, New Dangerous Alliance stuff.
Yeah.
And the worst part about all of this, and then I promise I want to hear your thoughts, crash out, do what you got to do. It's a lot of information to share. But the cherry on top, bro, The Rock comes in and says something's happening, it's happening.
That's true, unfortunately.
Triple H has no control over it.
No.
And this is all an ego thing with him. It's insane. Anyway, please, reaction to all of this, Trevor. How insane on the scale of 1 to 10 is The Rock?
So, he's up there. Truth be told, I was a huge Rock fan. Like The Rock. He was insane then, too, but he wasn't this insane because he didn't have this money. But I already knew that a lot of those promos weren't scripted because it sounded like it. It sounded like he just was spitting shit out of the top of his head and see if it hit. And you can even, and I'm gonna tell you, Cody's face told it all. He's like he looked confused. The fact that all of this is just on the spot, made up you trying to show who has the biggest cojones in the business is kind of pathetic, actually, and very egotistical. And like, what happens if it doesn't hit? I.e., now, like, what happens? You continue with it probably, and like right now, you're ruining something that could have been great. You're ruining something that could have had the potential to be amazing. And the funny thing is, I told one of my buddies that the whole gear thing, I had a feeling that it wasn't part of the storyline. He just doesn't. They didn't make any gear for him. I kind of knew that.
Well, no, because they wanted to sell the gear they already had. They were like, "Well, we already made this awesome gear. We already make gear for every single city on this European tour." No,
Right.
so now you're just gonna see, and it's like you're gonna come out in jorts and shit. So like, yeah, you're gonna wear this gear. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, now, is he done? I mean, my question is he done with this gear yet?
Oh no. At this point, they're committed to it because the gear is gonna sell.
They're gonna keep it now. Yeah, they're gonna sell.
They're a money cow. Bro, the wild thing is, this man legitimately last year thought, this is how deluded The Rock is. This is how out of it. This is how out of touch The Rock is. He legitimately believed that he could just walk in there, interrupt the main event, the plans. I'm the final boss. This is what I do. Like, like he just thought he could walk in there, take Cody's spot, and when fans cried out about it, he was like, all right, I'm going to show them this family tree. Look at this. Look, that's Rocky Johnson. That's Peter Maviel. Look, that's Rikishi. That's the final boss right there. And he thought that was going to be it.
Yeah, he did. He literally did.
He's so out of touch, dude. He's so out of touch. And that's why I'm sick of like all these people being like, no, The Rock he's the smartest guy in wrestling.
No, he's not.
He's not. He's not.
He's a hell of a businessman. I'll tell you that. He's a hell of a businessman.
He's bro, this is the same dude who tried to. They had to restart the entire DCEU because I mean they were gonna have to restart that train wreck anyway. But
yeah.
But dude, The Rock was so bad. Like that was the final straw. They were just like, you know what? Fuck it. New Superman, new Batman. Shazam was the one good thing we had. Fuck Shazam. We don't need that no more.
Right, exactly.
It's insane. He's insane. He's not
insane.
And then, bro, the biggest thing, dude. The biggest thing. I'm sorry, Trevor. I'm crashing out.
Oh no, it's okay. It's okay.
Oh, the big. Sorry, bro. The biggest thing that blew my mind. The Rock doesn't show up right on WrestleMania because he has these Moana reshoots. I get that.
Right.
The gall of this man to do an interview with Pat McAfee the day after. The gall of this man to just come up Pat McAfee the day after and be like, look, I'm the final boss. All right, look, I'm great. Look, Ari Emanuel, Bella Bajaria, they came to me and they were like, the final boss. We need him to sell some tickets. And that's what I said, I'm the fucking final boss and I'm going to do it. He's so high on his own supply. It's crazy.
It's ridiculous, dog. I gotta watch that interview.
I'll send it to you. It's wild. He is like he's so out of touch, and like we'll get to it in a second. Like people are crashing out about it. Even Jonathan Coachman crashed out on The Rock about it. It's crazy.
Oh wow.
Yeah, actually, let's just get right to it. Jonathan Coachman crashed out on The Rock. Trevor. Here is what he had to say.
Take time, and I won't take long, but I was waiting for Pat McAfee today. The Rock, who was not advertised at all of a sudden, late last night, he's advertised me on Pat McAfee. It screams several things. A, TKO called The Rock to say, you got to do damage control. We are getting absolutely shredded across the board. There's never been a finish to any night, especially the main night on WrestleMania, that's been universally panned than this one right here. Worst inning of all time. And then for The Rock, and this hurts me to say because I love him so much, for people who don't know, he was the person I was on TV first in my career in the WWE. For him to go on Pat McAfee and say, I didn't want the spotlight on me, I wanted it on John Cena. What? You had to know. He is so smart. He had to know that by not showing up, by not tweeting, by not posting, by not saying anything, now all of the focus is now on you. And the questions are why? What happened? Are you fighting with Triple H? Are you fighting with somebody else? Those are all the questions everybody is asking today. It's not, hey, congratulations to John Cena on number 17. We're not that stupid. There is something going on behind the scenes. The Rock is on the board of directors. The Rock got a $30 million and then another one big payment to come back and be a major part of what the WWE is doing. He was out there January 6th on the debut of Netflix. He was out there when John Cena turned heel because he asked for his soul. He was the one. So for 2.5 months, not a post, not a peep, not a video, when a year ago he used social media to his advantage. And we're supposed to believe that? I don't know what's going on, but something is going on. I've been around enough backstage to know when creatively you don't get along, they're not getting along. And The Rock somehow wanted to make a statement. Well, statement made loud and clear. Now they're doing cleanup. And that was not it.
And this is Jonathan Coachman, who is a big time dick. He has not criticized WWE.
Wow.
Thoughts on that? I mean, I agree with a lot of stuff. I think Coach was very nice with what he said, but I agree with a lot of stuff Coach said.
I agree with almost everything he said, if not everything. Like they're doing cleanup right now. I mean, and here's the thing, like it was terrible because one of the officials said that was not the ending we wanted. That was a terrible ending. Like a lot of people big in wrestling have said the same thing. The ending was sucked. It didn't stick. The match was flat. Like, if not only your fans are seeing that, people with inside the company are seeing that, guess what? You fucked up. And regardless of whether your ego can take it, you messed it up. You messed up what could have been an amazing storyline. You messed up what could have been an amazing match. What we got last night was not an amazing match. It was 10 pounds of crap wrapped in a 1 pound bag. It was awful.
It was. It's like the gall, bro. Like the gall on this man, bro. Like, no wonder people were crashing out about him in Hollywood, about pissing in water bottles and shit. Like, of course, like, people are like, I'm like, bro, I'm looking at this on the outside. Someone who works in PR, by the way. I'm looking at this. I'm like, bro, like, this is a disaster for WWE. Not only are their talent crashing out like crazy right now. I don't know what's going on. Not only is that happening, but you have the biggest celebrity in the world in The Rock, the most recognizable human being on the planet. Like, I would say, like, it's like Donald Trump, Barack Obama, and The Rock is the most recognizable human faces on the planet. Like, that's how big The Rock is, right? Globally. And this man, you gotta know, bro. You gotta know that, like, that people don't view you in a good light when you do stuff like this. Like, it's insane to me, bro. He's so far gone. It's crazy.
Yeah, and at this point, he's so out of touch. I don't even know if he knows it.
He doesn't. He just did an interview with Pat McAfee where he was like, look, Bella Bajaria, Ted Sarandos, Ari Emanuel, all these executives you don't know, they came to the final boss and they said, look, Rocky, we got to go fix WrestleMania. Elimination Chamber in the toilet. Triple H creative, it's bad, and I'm the final boss. And I showed up, and I said I'm not going to show up again because I'm the final boss.
Pretty much.
That's pretty much what he said. That's like you want the short version of the interview, Trevor. That's basically what happened.
That's pretty much it, yeah.
And then he said, look, you got a storyline in WWE that's hot. The final boss is going to get in there. He's going to squeeze the life out of it, and then he's going to go and shoot Moana too because he's the final boss. Yo.
That shit was stupid.
Crazy. Bro, why are they even making another Moana? They just came out with Moana too. Why? Aren't they supposed to wait like 20 years for a live action?
It's the live action one.
They're supposed to wait like 20 years, though, I thought, for like a live action. They're just doing it. They just, bro, Disney just wants money, I guess. Like, I don't know.
Of course.
All these companies want money. Anyway, The Rock sucks. Anything else to add, bro, about this?
No. He already said enough. He sucks.
Any final wrestling thoughts for the day? I think we pretty much covered most things, if not everything.
No, other than was the stand up deliver was awesome.
Stand and
No.
Deliver was awesome. You know what sucks, man? I'm looking at John Cena. Look at the world title picture across like wrestling right now. It's not great because Jey Uso. I mean, shout out to Jay. Glad he got his moment and all that. But like, you got Jey Uso, John Cena, who's gonna be a part timer,
Yeah.
and then in AEW, we gotta wait. We gotta hope and pray Moxley drops that belt. We gotta hope and pray Moxley drops that belt. It's so wild. I am legitimately worried about the future of professional wrestling world championships. The women are gonna have to carry. Io Sky is gonna have to carry. Tony Storm is gonna have to carry. Like it's gonna be the situation we're dealing with.
What the hell happened? Camera off. Sorry.
You're good.
There we go.
Oh, the camera's back. The camera's back, and he's the final boss. Look at him. The final boss of OT Graps. But yeah, I'm worried about that though. That's the thing. The men's single world championships are cooked right now in wrestling.
Yeah, right now it's not looking great. I mean, Dom Mysterio is fine. Chicken Fatu, I think potentially might be fine. But I mean, I want to see what they do with Jey Uso. I want to see what kind of feuds they develop, whatever. Even though last night I thought it was the perfect time to develop one, to start one, whatever, but they didn't. Let's see what happens. But yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna count out Jey Uso quite yet. I mean, in the saving grace, we still have Io Sky, we still have Tiffany Stratton. I know they're not males, of course, but they still are champions. So we have something to look forward to. So we'll see what happens.
By God, God help us all.
And
man.
don't forget Obafemi and Ricky Saints.
This man really talking about some Ricky Saints.
Did I offend? Did I
Really talking about some Ricky Saints, bro. I can't believe they changed his name. That's crazy.
Yeah, I hate to change the name to Ricky Saints.
Ricky Saints, dude. His music. I mean, his music's fine. His music's fine.
I mean, he had a pretty good match with Ethan Page, actually.
No, it's fine. The presentation is weird, and I don't know. Maybe it'll be better when he's on the main roster. It'll definitely be better when he's on the main roster. The creative won't be though. Anyway, all right, Trevor, what are you watching these days?
Let's see. What am I watching these days? A lot of stuff. I'm watching a lot of like dramas and everything. I was watching this show called The Pit on Max. I've been watching Dark Side of the Ring. Oh, did you see Tony Atlas?
I have not. I've only seen one episode of Dark Side of the Ring.
Yo, they did mention the shoe thing in the Tony Atlas thing.
That's crazy.
So he actually cleared it up. It's not necessarily a foot. It's shoes. It's women's shoes.
Because that's so much better.
Right. And it's not, he says it's not a sexual thing. He says it just it comforts him. It makes him calm down with women step on his face. I'm telling you what he said.
Bro is wild for that. Women step on his face.
That's what it is, dude. That's what it.
Interesting.
It's wild. It's very wild.
Interesting. I mean, I'm just watching a lot of wrestling. I got nothing else.
Yeah, I mean, I've been watching UFC and stuff too, but yeah,
that's what I don't care about. That's what I don't care.
Fudge you. I love UFC. I like boxing.
Man.
You know.
All right. Well, luckily now we've exited WrestleMania season. We are looking forward to All In season, Trevor. So
that's what I'm looking forward to.
Well, I mean, hopefully, Jesus, I really hope Tony, Tony, you watched what happened at Mania. You know what happened, bro. Do it. Like, just do it at Dynamite. If Tony Khan actually gets the belt off Moxley on Dynamite this week, it would be legitimate. Like, the amount of goodwill he would get would be out of this world.
Oh yeah, everyone would love him.
He's not gonna do it, but Tony, just do it. Just fucking do it. Ain't nobody care about the Death Riders. Moxley is not the guy right now, bro. Put that belt on Samoa Joe. Do it. Who cares? Who
Right,
cares?
let's do that.
Who cares, man? Anyway. Hey Boogie says, I asked who's better, redhead. Now we stepping on faces.
Yeah. It took a turn, didn't it?
Took a damn turn, but it wouldn't be OT Graps if it wasn't a weird turn. Anyway, guys, be sure to smash that thumbs up. Be sure to go over to youtube.com/OT Graps and subscribe for all exclusive clips and more from the channel. Be also sure to go on TikTok. We're gonna have to pull up. I'm gonna make like a graphic that has all the stuff, but like, cause like you're on TikTok now. You're on IG.
I'm doing a lot of different things. I'm moving up in the world, so I will definitely send you guys put a list of the things I'm doing, and also come back. I'm also coming back to OT Graps to do some things on the channel. I mean, on the channel itself. Got a lot of things planned. Got a lot of things going on. Personally, I've been busy, so I haven't been able to do what I want, but I'm making time for you guys. So we'll see. We'll see good stuff soon.
We're making time. We're making anyway. But yeah, guys, be sure to go over follow Trevor on Twitter at TREVERTAINMENT. That is TREVERTAINMENT. Subscribe to OT Graps. Be there. Be square. Until next time, be happy, be healthy, and as always, keep it real.
Love those who far, hug those who close, and guys, just have a good week. It's getting warmer. It's getting into what cookout season. Mother's Day is the next holiday up. Guys, just take care of each other and love yourselves.
All love, baby. Peace.
And the